Ugly Christmas sweater nails with no gel needed. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. We're going to do a really fun mani today. I'm going to show you how to do some ugly Christmas sweater nails that really aren't that ugly, and we are doing it all with stamping, no gels needed. Plus, I'm going to show you how to do double stamping. It's such a fun technique that I tried a while ago and just kind of like forgot about. So I want to do it again to show some of you who've asked how to do it. The first thing we're going to do is start with our dip powder as our base. I'm using these gorgeous Christmas colors from CN Designer Dips. Everything that I use in the video is going to be linked in the description. So if I ever forget to say that, it's always linked. Sometimes I just have a really bad memory and forget to say what I use. So it's always in the description. This gorgeous fine glitter is called Jolly. Then the green that I'm going to be using is called Envy. And I'm going to use this really light kind of sheer pink called Blushed to do my ring finger. I had a design in mind that I wanted to do, and the vision was just not happening because I was like, I don't know. I was really tired. I was doing this mani at night, which I haven't done in a long time. So I kind of just was forgetting. My brain just kind of forgets things at night, especially. I'm forgetful normally, and then doing my nails at night, which I haven't done in a while, just made me extra forgetful. So when you're using a fine glitter, you want to make sure that you lay your nail flat into it. And what I tried doing on the first dip was I did a pour over, not thinking, and the coverage just wasn't looking how I wanted it to. So for the second dip on my thumb, I made sure that I laid my nail flat, and then the coverage was absolutely perfect. This is why I am such a huge proponent of laying your nail flat for glitters, flakes, and foils. Whether they're fine glitters, chunky glitters, medium glitters, and anything like that, you get such better coverage, such a gorgeous look when you lay your nail flat. I laid my nail flat for my thumb and my pointer finger, and then on my middle finger, I wanted to do a French design. But what I wasn't thinking about when I pulled my nail out and tapped it, I shouldn't have tapped it because the glitters kind of sprinkled down below. And then I was like, crap, what was I thinking? So I quick grabbed an ombre brush and tried to like turn it into an ombre, but it just wasn't looking how I wanted. So I poured the pink over it at the bottom so I'd still have like my French base to it. And then I knew I was going to do a second layer just to try to see if I could get my ombre to look a little better. Once I realized I messed up the French, then I decided I was going to do an ombre, and I wanted to do one of the sweater designs over top of where the ombre was. So on the second dip of the ombre, instead of tapping right away, I wasn't thinking and like literally went to put my nail into the little container, and I don't even know what I was thinking about because I didn't even try to like slide it in as if I was doing a French. Again, this is like why I should not do my nails at night anymore. I did my nails at night for probably about close to five, well, maybe like 4.5 years. And then earlier this year when I got sick, pretty much stopped doing my nails. I did them like once every couple weeks, but then I started doing my nails during the day instead and realized, oh my gosh, I do a lot better thinking about what I'm doing with my nails when I'm not doing it late at night. But I have 3 kids. I work. So, sometimes I have to do my nails at night. And this is one of the times where I just kept doing goofy things. In the end, I absolutely loved how this mani turned out. Once I was done with my ring finger, and I felt like, I had a like okay-ish ombre because I knew it was going to cover it with some of the stamping. I moved on to this gorgeous green. It is a super shimmery green, absolutely stunning. I don't know about all of you, but sometimes, you just like get into the holiday spirit or whatever holiday it is, and you just like want to go all out with your nails. I did that with Halloween. I went crazy with how many Halloween manis I did, and I am totally doing the same thing for Christmas, doing as many Christmas manis as I possibly can. So since this green is a shimmer, I poured it over. For solids and shimmers, I really like to do the pour over method. I find that coverage for solids and shimmers is so much better when you pour the powder over. You just get such a beautiful even coverage. This one was no exception. It applied absolutely beautifully. I have also really been feeling the greens this year. I don't know where that came from. I've never really been a huge green fan, but for some reason, greens this year have just been like speaking to me. I don't know if it's just because I've done my nails for so many years. Let me know in the comments if there is a color this year that you have really been feeling, or maybe like you want to try next year in 2025 as we're getting close to the end of the year. Like, what color have you either been feeling or do you really want to try and get into coming up? Since I use dip liquids, my last dip is always clear dip powder. And anytime I use dip liquids, no matter whether it's a solid flake, foil, glitter, shimmer, whatever, clear is always my last dip. I like to do this because it protects your colors. So a lot of people just do clear dip powder as their last dip for glitters and, flakes, foils, things like that. But I also like to do them for solids and shimmers because when you go to buff your nails, it just really protects the color. You don't accidentally buff or file into anything. You know that they're nice and protected. And for me, I like my manis to last a while. And not only do I like mine to last a while, even if I'm changing them often because of peel base, whenever I do my videos, I like to make sure that I give everybody all the tips and tricks to get your manis to last long, because I know most of you aren't doing your nails, every 4 to 6 days like I am. I mean, some of you I'm sure are. If you found the joy of peel base, which, is just if you don't know what peel base is, it's basically just an air dry nail polish that you put underneath of your manis to pop them off faster so that they literally like peel off. That's what I use. I use builder gel down as a base on my natural nails, once in a while rubber base, and then I do peel base, and then I do my dip manis over top, which is why you only see me do 2 dips of color and then 1 dip of clear. This way, I've already built my apex with the builder gel, so I don't need to do as many dips of the color. Once I've got the clear on all my nails, I really make sure I brush off any excess, and then I activate it so I can get into my buffing, filing, and shaping. And if you're using high quality powders and high quality liquids, you should not have to do a lot of buffing and filing and shaping. I like to do a nice buff to get everything smooth and then just fix up my shaping a little bit. Anything that got a little too bulky or got a little bit off. Whenever you're using dip powders and dip liquids or even gel liquids, dip tends to add bulk. So I like to just, what I call crisp up my shape, just go through, make sure that my shaping looks good and that all my nails are nice and smooth. And I even use a little nail drill, an e-file bit, to go around my cuticles to make sure that I have those nice, crisp, like perfect, quote unquote, cuticle lines. And now we're going to jump into the stamping, which I am so excited for. The white liquid that you saw me put on my nail, around my skin first, is called a nail art barrier. I get that from Uber Chic. I absolutely love it. This just keeps a lot of the stamping polish off your skin, which if you're anything like me, you're going to get it on your skin, and this way you don't have to clean it up with any kind of polish remover or acetone. So what I was trying to do at first was I wanted some kind of sweater design to go through, like right through the middle of my ombre on my ring finger. And when I first put it down, so you'll see me apply my stamp and it just like kind of smushed together. I don't really know what I did. I think I just squeezed it too tight on my nail and it just did not look right. So all you have to do is wipe it off with isopropyl alcohol since it didn't dry, and then just redo it again. That's what I love so much about stamping, that if you mess up, first of all, if you don't pick up your stamp correctly, you just don't have to put it down onto your nail. And then secondly, even if you make a mistake, you just wipe it off. I like just use isopropyl alcohol on a paper towel and just wipe it right off. And then when I redid it, I realized, ooh, I think I want to pick up a little bit more of the design. I want like one of the little lines that goes with it. Well, I took my time too much pulling off the excess stamping polish that was on the stamp that I picked up. And then what happened was when I tried to apply it to my nail, enough of it didn't stick. So since I'm not using a sticky base down on my nails, I'm just stamping directly over my dip powder nails that have been activated smooth, and then I wipe with alcohol. You do have to work a little bit quicker so that the stamping polish is still sticky when you go to apply it. And every time I would reapply that nail art barrier. And then finally on my third try, I got the stamp correct. I had it where I wanted, everything looked good, and I was like, yes. So you'll be able to see me like kind of peel something off the side of my skin. That's the nail art barrier. I am obsessed with using this stuff. It has been such a game changer for me because it means so much less having to use any kind of polish remover. Now, I can't use acetone, I'm actually allergic, so I just use a nail polish, like a non acetone nail polish remover. It's great, it works really well, but I try not to use it as much as I possibly can. Some of the tips I want to give you about stamping in general are that first of all, you want to scrape with the way the image goes. So these sweater designs need to be scraped sideways. You totally could scrape them downwards, but one of the benefits of stamping now for a few years is kind of realizing what way you need to scrape. And if you have a horizontal image like this, it's best to scrape horizontally. So now we're going to jump into the double layers, the double process stamping, double layered stamping. I've seen it called a few different things. What you're basically going to be doing is stamping quickly 2 times. So you have your initial image that's going to be the background, and then your second image that's going to be what you're actually trying to pick up. So for this one, I wanted it to be a French design with part of the sweater nail. The first thing I did was I scraped the polish on the sweater design, and then I put the polish on the white French. And something that you want to do when you have a very full image like these French ones here are you want to be scraping to the point where your card, your little scraper card, is not at a 45-degree angle. You want it to be like practically flat to the plate, and you want to scrape so gently, which is very different than when you're scraping a larger image or, an image that's very detailed, very etched out. You don't want to do that. You want to scrape firmly. So when you have those full cover images like you do on a French, you want to keep your card low and almost flat against the plate and then scrape gently. All you have to do is you roll over your first image and then you roll over your second image. And you could see on my nails what the end design is it's this beautiful French sweater nail. I am such a huge fan of the double process, double layer stamping. I definitely am going to be doing it more now. I just kind of, like I said, I kind of forgot about it. And now that I did it again and saw how easy it was, after you practice it a couple times, I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to be something that needs to be in my stamping game a lot more. Whenever I'm stamping, I like to keep masking tape with me. This way I can just really quickly pull off any of the pieces of different images that got picked up beside the ones that I was trying to pick up. So when I was trying to get this larger sweater image, a little bit got picked up from the image beside it, and then I just use my masking tape to just pull it off real quick. Before I used to use a lint roller, and I've seen a lot of people use them. It works, or they use like little sticky pads. But for me, with how messy I am and clumsy, using the little piece of masking tape has been so much easier for me. So that's just like another tip of, things that you figure out as you're doing your nails for a while that make it a little bit easier. Once I totally finished with all of my different stamping designs and let them dry, then I go over with the Maniology Smudge Free Top Coat and I make sure that I cap my edges with it as well. So the reason that I do this, one is so that my stamping doesn't smudge, and two is because if I go over it with the smudge free top coat first and let it dry for like 10 minutes, I can go in with my dip liquids and do the top coating like I normally would, which if you are like me and you love using dip liquids, being able to use the dip top coat is so awesome because then you get that super shiny, long lasting effect with the dip top, and it really seals the stamping polish in really well if you put the smudge free top coat over it. So if you try to go right in with the activator without the smudge-free top coat on that's been completely dried, you'll smear all of your stamps. So definitely do not do that. Okay, I've done that before. Don't make that mistake. That's my little trick that I figured out with doing stamp nails, is to put the smudge-free top coat over it, and then you can still use your dip top coating. The one thing that I want to make sure that everybody knows is to make sure that you follow the top coating instructions for whatever liquids you're using. You still have to use the activator and the top coat and follow your brand's instructions. Now, if you are having so much fun learning about how to stamp and you're ready for some more, make sure you check out this next video and I will teach you more easy stamps. Thanks for joining me today, Nail Crew.